If we knew right now that we wanted to move to La Marque after this retreat, we wouldn't have to look any further to find a full team of people. My name is Jay. This is my wife, Eden. We've lived in Colorado in the United States for a long time. We started talking about moving to Italy.
Well, first we started coming regularly, joking about the idea, and then we decided, wait, actually, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
We were staying in Venice for the Biennale, and we were seeing the art, and then we took a couple of days and came down to La Marque, and we started looking in La Marque immediately.
Yeah, there's so much of value in this place, you know, for what you're paying for a home. Though the landscape is so similar to Tuscany and Umbria. It's beautiful, rolling hills.
Only
you know.
better, I think. I think it's prettier here, actually. I do.
It's a little more dramatic, maybe.
A little more dramatic, a little
Yeah.
more rugged. It's always green.
It was basically what would pop up on Google searches. I was looking at maybe 10, 12, 15 different websites, you know, to see what homes were crossing over, which ones were, you know. It was pretty decentralized and challenging for a little while. It was really hard to be sure how much of what we were seeing was accurate, truthful, either, you know, it was just anecdotal from just 2 or 3 people versus would be the same for most people. Researching and learning more about the way the Italian government works and how, you know, certain things can even be different per the different regions, comunes, things like that. And once you do figure out that it's hard to keep up to date, it becomes clear that to have, I mean, in our minds, we thought we need a person. We need someone on the ground who can be our ally and help us out. But what ended up happening is that we needed a team, you know, which was why meeting David and Gary was so amazing.
Jay found you guys' Instagram post about your retreat, and we were like, we need to do this, but we didn't feel like we could do it in 2023 when the next one was coming up. So we said we'd made a pact that we would do it in 2024, and we did. By that time, we were getting very serious, and we came early so we could look at Tuscany and Umbria, and then we came to the retreat at the end of that trip. But that was incredible because everything we needed was there. It was such a great thing to do because the lawyers, the engineers, the realtors, the Paul and Michelle.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't just make professional connections, which were totally integral for purchasing this home, but also the personal connections. David and Gary have become friends. Some British
Barbara,
some British expats who had come to the retreat to talk to those of us who were taking the workshop have become friends. Like it could just be a professional community building experience, but for us it ended up being like a whole community building experience. There's only so much you can do online. I mean, you can gain knowledge and information, but to get a sense of a place, even the people that live in a place, I don't think either one of us would have been comfortable purchasing a home from abroad sight unseen. Like we had to be on the property, in the house, not just taking someone else's word for it. How does it feel to drive from the nearest town up to the home, you know, in the shuttle when we would go out looking with you guys for the day? How far is it actually to get there, even though it could be 3 kilometers? Is that 20 minutes? Is it,
right.
5 minutes? We thought it was the only next step for sure. Yeah.
We looked at 2 other places somewhat seriously before we landed here, and then this was kind of last minute. We found this place where we had seen it, but it was too expensive, and then it had gone down in price. We were feeling a little desperate, I think, at that point, and so we looked at it and we were like, oh my God, we need to go look. You know, we can't buy a house without looking at it, right? And Jay came home from work a couple days later and said, I bought plane tickets. And I was like, oh, okay. And there's various considerations about that, but we came like within 2 weeks and had a look, and we looked at so many houses with you guys. It was nice to know, you know, how different they can look in pictures.
That's one piece of advice I would give, to just look at as many homes as you can possibly stand. You know, I mean, we probably only looked at in person here maybe 15 or so, but online, I mean, it was hundreds of listings. So it really gives you a sense of what to expect. But also, Eden said, this place we had looked at and we had taken it off our list, but because I was I was sort of obsessively looking all the time, As soon as it popped back up, we knew. Thought, wait a second, this now is in our price range. And we were home at the time, like Eden said.
We happened to be on the phone with Paul, the person, one of the people we met at the retreat.
Right.
And he said, and he came over and looked at it for us and said,
He did.
It looks really, really good, you know? So we had that connection. He was able to, he did a lot of on the ground
Right.
work for us, which was amazing.
And that connection
Yeah.
is direct from the D&G retreat.
Right, yeah.
Like, it's really, really hard once you get the bug and you're excited and you've decided, yes, we could uproot at some point, to be patient. It's really challenging, but strong recommendation, because looking back, we're really happy that we didn't end up with either one of those two houses that we were working on purchasing, because this one suits us so much better. And I think it just took that period of time to realize what was actually available at what price. The Italians would say piano piano, you know, just slowly.
So glad we ended up here. The location is perfect. The house is perfect for us. It's really good. We didn't think we wanted a pool, but we're super happy we got one.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
My greatest reservation about being here was community. Will we be able to find people who are willing to engage with expats, for one?
Italian people, I guess.
Yeah, right.
We didn't want to come and not see Italian people. We want to come and be with the Italians.
The goal has never been to come to Italy and find a group of other expats to spend all of our time with. You know, we really want to be a part of an Italian community. So hear different things about different regions around Italy. Everyone has an anecdotal story, some more welcoming than others. But I mean, all of my fears around community have been totally assuaged. I think this is literal. We've received almost nothing but warmth from this community. Extremely friendly, really patient with our
really
lack
helpful.
of much Italian language.
Yeah. Jay was really worried it was going to just feel really remote, and it's not. We feel nice and private here, but it's not. 10 minutes to Amandola, 10 minutes to Sarnano.
Yeah.
Both active, great towns and beautiful.
Not to mention 3 hours to Rome.
It's got a lovely balance of remoteness and not. And there's mountains 15 minutes away and the ocean less than an hour away. It's the perfect place. It's a beautiful house, and it's old, but it's been totally redone, which is nice for us. It's all the anti-seismic stuff happened. Just in the last week, we had some really high winds that were really loud and roaring outside, and the house was just felt solid. It just didn't feel like...
These stone homes are just so solid, you know, the stone and concrete. We wanted to live in the most traditional home we could find. This is a traditional Italian structure. It's stone built with very thick walls.
Been here for almost 150 years.
The materials are just really gorgeous. The ceiling beams are so pretty.
It's aesthetically beautiful, but it's also, some Italian houses can be really dark, and it actually has quite a lot of light, which is nice.
Yeah.
It also has a roomy kitchen, which is amazing, because that's not necessarily something that we found when we were looking.
Right.
Lots of bedrooms so we can have visitors. And
maybe top of my list was the view. I've always been someone who loves, if possible, to have a view, and I mean, we'll just never get enough of this view. It's an amazing view of the countryside, and there is so much of that available in the Marche, you know, because rolling hill landscape. We had 10 boxes to check. This was 9 immediately,
and it was funny because the day we looked, there was somebody after us and somebody after them looking, and so we went right to the real estate office and called our lawyer and made an offer immediately, because we were like, this is the place.
How do we feel before the retreat?
We weren't 100% sure. We knew we needed to be diving deeper into the subject, and the retreat seemed a really good way to do that, because so much information was being offered to us, you know, and we had a strong feeling we probably did, but we weren't sure like we were afterwards. Afterwards, it really did kind of cement our intentions, I think. And
like most people probably do, you know, you come here, you interact with these beautiful people, the amazing food, the architecture, the art, the atmosphere, just all of it comes together. It's so special. Yeah.
But we did keep coming back here.
The original idea is pretty old for us, probably 20 years, but then we started to get serious just a few years ago. Yeah.
It's complicated. There's a lot to do. This time we brought our dogs, and that was incredibly complicated. It
Oh,
took
yeah.
a lot of time and money, but it was worth it. But
Yeah.
you have to be committed, I think,
Yes.
and really want to do it.
It's important to
Yeah.
be open to
Mm.
some adventure, because it's not
Yeah.
no matter what your experience is, it's not likely to be straightforward. You won't make a decision and say, okay, here's point A, here's point B. There's a clear path from there to there. The adventure aspect, just embrace it. Through the adventure, through the things that are more challenging, the things that are easy, you're going to meet new people throughout that process, and it's just an excuse to build relationships. So be open to the experience.
It is so pretty. That first in 2022, I was saying to Jay, "This is the place. Let's move here. I like it. Let's do it." And he was like, "I don't know." But I
How
was
can
like,
we be sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like, I could feel it right away. It's just really great.
Yeah, and the season here compared to the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, where we live in the States, is so much longer. You can grow so many more food items. We're really, really excited about
All
just
kinds of things. Yeah.
having some control over our food supply. But
Yeah.
even then, going to the markets here, Italy's standards are different than the States. So the food supply, the food chain is cleaner, less chemicals, less or no GMOs.
Hugely different. Well, you always hear about people that they can't eat gluten in the States, but they can eat gluten here and stuff like that. The food supply is much better here. And I just want to say another thing about the people here. The people are so nice. They're so kind and helpful. We haven't ever met anybody that just doesn't really help us. Our neighbor has had us over to eat twice. We feel very embraced by everybody. It's been really cool.
Don't wait, just do it. Like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
You'll thank yourself later.
Yeah.